Tween and You, 5 minutes to a better relationship. Welcome to another edition of your Tween and You, the podcast. And today we're talking all about how to get your kid to talk to you after they get in the car from school and all they want to say is yes, no, fine, good, bad. And you're just frustrated because you can't get any information from your child about their day at school.
Well, Amy, it is a little frustrating for parents because we really want to know exactly how they're doing because we care about them. We want to know if they've had a good day or a bad day, and you just can't tell looking at them. But one of the things that we need to really be careful of are two things. We don't want to barrage them with questions, and we also want to really honor their time. What's the best time to ask them how their day was? I know if we're picking them up, we just want to know right then. We've been sitting in the parent loop waiting. If we're a working parent and our child gets home, that's the first thing we're thinking about. How was their day? But is that really the best time to ask them the questions? And then the next thing to think about is how are you going to form those questions?
So how do you go about forming those questions?
Well, of course, you really want to be engaging. And one of the ways to do that is to avoid all those passive words like, did you turn in your homework? Are you going to sign up to be in the book club? Those are all yes and no questions, and if we repeatedly keep asking our questions like that to our kid, they're going to just feel like, oh my gosh, when is this going to stop? Because you're getting the answer, but you're not having the conversation, and that's really what you want is the conversation.
So how should I rephrase the question so I'm not just getting yes and no responses?
Okay, so there's some really good ways to do that, and one of the ways is to ask questions like this. I was wondering who you were able to help today. Or what made you laugh? I know you sit next to Jack in class and he usually makes you laugh. What did he say that made you laugh today? Who did you help? Was there someone that you got to help? I know that you're an office aide. What was the best thing about being an office aide today?
Can you also ask things like, what was your favorite part of the day today? What was your least favorite part of the day? What was funny today? What made you sad today?
You're really going down two lines there. So one is about information, and then the other one is about feelings. And it really is important for us as parents to touch base with our kids about how they're feeling. And one of the things about when our kids start saying they're feeling happy or they're feeling sad or they're upset is we really just need to listen to their feeling, not try and fix it, not try and minimize it, but certainly be open to saying, well, gosh, I wonder what caused that. And when we have that sense of curiosity with our kids, gosh, that's too bad, and that sense of empathy, it really makes them realize that we really are interested in them, not just in information.
So if the worst part of the day to ask those questions is probably when your child gets home or gets in the car or gets off the school bus, when is the best time to try to sit down and have that conversation with your child about their day?
Well, one of the nice things is if your family is organized where you're cooking dinner together or you're doing chores together, certainly when you're doing anything together, it's a great time because you're already engaged in some activities, so it's not contrived at all. If your child is the kind that goes up to his room, you might, when you say, okay, in 5 minutes I'm going to come up, so be ready for our after-school chat, and they just know that that's something that you've designed for every day, then they can expect that. So setting up those expectations for talking is really good because your child really does want to share with you what's going on. We just have to really engage them in a way that's going to be great for both of you.
How about before bed? Is that a good time?
Before bed is the best time because there's nothing going on. There's no distractions. I think tucking your kid into bed is one of the most wonderful things that you can do. I know Amy is going to share a little story about tucking in.
Yes, my senior in high school still loves to be tucked in every single night. In fact, I don't know what she's going to do when she goes away to college.
See, Amy, the really cool thing about that is somehow along in her life, you guys set that up where she can't go to bed without being tucked in. And so that's part of the routine. And every parent can set that up. It's never too late. If you've got a boy going in 8th grade, if you've got a child going in 5th grade, just make that part of your nightly habit, part of your bedtime talk. And then you'll find that kids just pour their hearts out when you're sitting talking to them about anything.
Joanne, I know that you do a lot of one-on-one coaching with people all over the country because you do it by phone, and you can do it all over the world, in fact. But you also offer, at least in the DFW area, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you offer workshops in schools and in churches and synagogues.
That's right. They are really a lot of fun. They're very interactive and engaging. They're not at all passive. People get to come and do all sorts of activities, but they most of all get to learn about how to communicate with their children and how to understand why it's so darn tough to be a tween.
So if someone is listening and they want to schedule you to come to their school or their church or their synagogue, how can they contact you?
Oh, just go to the website, yourtweenandyou.com, and there's a banner on the top that says workshops, and just go ahead and click on there and send me an email, and I'll get in touch with you right away. Thank you so much for joining us for this podcast today. We look forward to you tuning in next time.
Thanks for listening to Your Tween and You, 5 Minutes to a Better Relationship. For more information, log on to our website, yourtweenandyou.com.